in the price
of truth is stuff truth forward. The truth has patience. Words of change is deep. All you sow you reap. Heart of truth is warm. The of and storm. Facts are only its truth stands above all sin. Great be the battle of life in win. The image of truth is his rod. The sign of truth is Christ, and the soul of truth is God. Life immortal is its past. Power of truth endure last.
Everybody's out of dollar. We're going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the punks are running. You know what? The air fit to breathe. Fit to sit on TV's local news that tells us hey, we homicide crimes as it's supposed to be. It's like don't go out anymore. All we say is at least my steel belt is says well I've done good at protest right here what a decent of the Russian you gotta say I'm big
a homicide also coming on the butte, and what Philip Prime Minister of St. Lucia, a national minister, welcome it most monitor is on the youth Facebook as well as the NewsSpin YouTube channel until 2 o'clock this afternoon, and in the bit I'll be hearing from you at 4529 716 2020 and we apologize to you because line working yesterday, so many were in vain to call 229 and rectified, so you can call online in the lines and all send WhatsApp messages and of course call WhatsApp. We hope you're having yourself Wednesday afternoon in St. Louis and watching time difference in time zone, maybe afternoon now or maybe other side. You remember on July the 20th, shooting which was a 45-year-old and that same that person 16 minutes before 6 o'clock. The individual in question landed and he's from Toulouse, 7, And this brings to think about either 42 or 43 homicides so far. So, more children are fatherless, so without their without their house, all because first we gotta understand that we can upon other people. Sure. We have different. We have must do. I'll take away lashes. We have those an ammunition from entering our just those in a particular time they have but they're being paid. And just because those who are elected a job government what they provide a lot of you accept that want to come claim it you start I'm doing you especially if you are in of currently also listen what was capacity and the
government the murder rate is with bring us to the year to foot government still crime climb last 2 bring to the year 22
particular homicide was the lead. It is lead what you of ship. It's France.
Is evident. I mean, he doesn't on security understand the Ministry of Justice to make like that. It's ridiculous. There was a couple gentlemen in Anthony at is after this lady lambasted us on the papers in England every other day. We were getting criticized and we were getting really ridiculed because of what is happening. We are able, because we reconstructed the lab. Okay, we are able to take that case, and Dazian Green, as the AG, as the DPP, sorry, was able to take that to trial, and we won. You understand? There was also the Greenwood case where the lady was killed, and so on. He was able to bring that to fruition. So at the end of the day, what the Prime Minister is saying is wrong. He is the Prime Minister, and he must take charge of what is happening. Let me give you an example. When Kenny Anthony was Prime Minister in 1997, Vieux had a spate of murders. I just returned from the FBI, and he gave Mr. Nelson, the Commissioner of Police, instructions to send me to Vieux to deal with what was happening in Vieux. And the Commissioner sent me down there. And within 11 months, I was able to turn the crime situation in Vieux, so much so that I was then appointed as the ACP crime. I mean, the Prime Minister not divorce himself from the police force. He's the boss. When certain things are happening, he must know. I also remember, and I'm giving you examples, Tim, so that people cannot say, well, I'm biased. When Minister Rambali was a minister, I was acting commissioner, and she had a problem in a particular area of a constituency. And I would have to go to report to the cabinet every Tuesday or Mondays. And she would demand from me that these matters be settled. And so every other Monday when I go back, I have to bring a report to her to tell her, well, okay, this is what I did, this is what the police force has done, and these are the results. Until she was satisfied, and she said, well, sir, you don't have to come back and tell me anything. I have noticed what is on the ground. I am happy with the whatever you have taken. So the government has to take responsibility. And I've always told people it is wrong to politicize crime, but crime is politics, because it is the Prime Minister, is the Minister of National Security that have the funds. They are the ones that have to equip the police officers with the necessary equipment and training. We have given the police officers vehicles, yes, but we have done that all over. Kenny Anthony has said that, he did his best. Alan Chancellor has done his best. This Prime Minister has given the police vehicles and so on. But that is not enough, so we're still doing the very same things. So we have to change our approach. I am telling them that during our tenure, we had a difficult time with the Leahy Law, a very difficult time, Tim. And yet still we were able to do things so that the Americans were happy with what the actions we took. When we talk about 2017 with the 60 homicides, we must understand, and you go back and look at the records, you will see that at least 38 of those 60 homicides were domestic violence. Somebody killing his girlfriend, or brothers killing brother, and the weapon of choice at the time was a cutlass or a knife. This proliferation of firearms that we have here is unprecedented. It's the first time it is happening. Don't let anybody fool you. And we have to work together to be able to deal with this matter. So for the Prime Minister every time to be suggesting that he was not the minister at the time, it doesn't make any sense. And I'm sure people have heard me say that before, that the Minister of National Security should, after the election is called and the government changes, that minister should spend at least 2 or 3 months with the incoming minister to tell him or her what were the plans, what are the things that we are looking at, okay? And then he can continue if he wants. He can desist from doing whatever he wants. But look at the actions of this government. You had a K9. The first thing you did, you disbanded the K9. And for how many months? So do you know the amount of firearms that entered this country during the time that the K9s were not there?
It wasn't a few months.
We had a system of
Mr. Francis, I think it was close to about 2 years, not a few months, close to 2 years.
But that's exactly Tim. So I'm being kind to them. I'm trying to be kind to tell you, for 2 years. So the amount of firearms that came in for our ports, and now we realize it's for the ports, that the K9s were not there. So you have to understand that. Okay, we have CCTV. You're seeing what is happening in places like Marshall, the graveyard, and so on. Up to the day like today, not one camera has been put up. Are we serious about this thing? We're not serious. The police force in the older days, they did not have the training and thing that we had, but we had dedicated police officers like Cyril, Kim, and those individuals. So they would go the extra mile to work out and work hard. There were police officers that, as soon as you heard their names, the criminals would be afraid. You know, not now. Criminals are not afraid of police officers. Okay? As a matter of fact, they figure that the police officers are their friends. And that is what happening. Then you had Operation Restore Confidence. You saw the lull in the crime. This same Labour Party took it and made it a political football. Richard Frederick's name was called. All sorts of things were happening. He lost his visa because of what the Labour Party said to him, about him. Alan Shasley was the only Prime Minister that took action against Richard. He did not want that character in his cabinet. He fired him. You accepted him just to win an election. And today, you want to distance yourself from him. You cannot distance yourself from Richard Frederick. Richard Frederick is a curse upon St. Lucia. And you unless we cannot get Richard out of politics, things are going to continue.
But
look at the number
in the absence
of
Mr. Francis, the absence of evidence, I don't think we want to create a
evidence.
Hold on. We don't want to create a correlation between Mr. Frederick and what is happening in St. Lucia with regard to the crime problem, because
I am not saying that Richard is causing the crime, but I'm telling you, from the time the gentleman entered the political arena, we have seen a difference in things happening in this country. That is a difference.
That could be a coincidence, too. But let's move on as you're continuing.
It can be a coincidence.
Yes,
but look at what's happening. Look at what's happening in the graveyard there. Have you ever heard Richard say anything? He has not said a word, but he will attack Roche mercilessly about his father. Roche did not choose his father. Okay, why not comment about the crimes that are happening? He commented about one, the young lady who died, and you remember her name, all right? What did he do? He, instead of saying, well, at least it was something that was not supposed to happen, he went further to say that the girl had committed a crime, a murder. That's how he did it. And you're telling me that's the minister? And we're not accepting that we cannot have these kind of people among us as ministers? So, you wanted to ask me a question.
Yes.
But I'm very annoyed with what the Prime Minister has been saying.
Yeah. What would you do with regard to the St. Lucia Police Force? Because for me, right now, it's suffering from, it has a leadership problem. Is it time for us to bite the bullet, no pun intended, and look for outside resources?
It is time that... Exactly. And this is what I was trying to do. And when I spoke to Mr. Mosheri as the commissioner, and I brought back Daisy as commissioner, Mosheri was supposed to have come to me so that he can look at what we need for succession planning in the police force. That was the plan for him, to say what the police force needed, what the fire service needed, what Bodily needed, the number of vehicles, the sort of training that they need, so that we can get a modern police force, a modern fire police, a modern fire department, and so on. Okay? Right now, the police officers don't even know how to do profiling. You need to be able to profile people. With these criminals that we have now, you're supposed to be able to profile a criminal. You notice that certain criminals got shot. Okay? From the minute you realize that these criminals have got shot, there is going to be reprisal. And the police have to be able to understand that and follow it. Okay? Because there it was, a young guy came from Canada. He was killed in Carnival. This guy is the relative of somebody from the Bagatelle area. As soon as that happened, Lindbach and some other person got shot. Do you expect that will stop that there? Something has to happen. Reprisals will think. And that is where the police officers must be informed, necessarily informed, knowing the individuals, be able to profile them, and then you will know that you can follow them to see what is happening. You know? But a lot has to be done, and I'm telling you that the police force needs a reset. We have to do something drastic about the police force. We have to go outside. We have to spend money a lot of money in going to the police force. Let us get the experts from outside, let them come in, and it'll be good that they are here, they can train our police officers. Okay, so that when they do leave in the next 2 or 3 years, that we have a better police force. But this police force is corrupt. It is bad. You have promotions being made. You have a deputy commissioner who is there, who is senior to Ronald Phillip as the deputy commissioner. But yet still, because that deputy commissioner stopped, Christopher Hunt and some other people from taking part in a motorcade during COVID, he's been sidelined for Ronald Phillip. When there are so many allegations of Ronald Phillip, you expect crime to stop. Tim, when you do these sort of things, it cannot be right. The morale of the police force is broken. This Ronald Phillip fella got, within the time the Labour Party got in the office, about 3 or 4 promotions, one after the other, to make sure that you put him in position so today he can act as commissioner of police. How can that be right? How can that be right? How can the police officers, who are genuine police officers, want to work for you when they see these things happening? So, Tim, this is huge, and we can have to speak about this a little more often, okay? Because right now the Prime Minister has to send a strong message to the criminals that we will not tolerate this. I listened to Mia Motley this morning, right, talking about tint in Barbados. And she said that the police officers asked her to look into that. And they are the experts, and she will take the advice. How does a police officer approach a vehicle that is highly tinted? Okay? He might overreact because he doesn't understand what's in there. He might underreact and get killed. So, the advice of the police is that the tints should be removed to a lesser degree, and she's going to enact the law to deal with this. There was the other thing too with firearms. Right now we see the proliferation of firearms. I remember the time in Barbados when a politician was made the Chief Justice, and the first thing he did, he said any person who is arrested with an illegal firearm will not get bail. That the Chief Justice made that pronouncement, that you will not get bail. We have a Chief Justice. We have to be able to do that too.
Contribution made yesterday worthy of replaying, and that contribution was made by former Deputy Police Commissioner, and he is also a former Minister with responsibility for national security, home affairs and justice, Mr. Herman Guild. Let me hear from you right now, 452-2979, 452-2979, your WhatsApp calls and messages, 716-2026. Somebody says, suggesting, Tim, I want you to try to get a member from each political party in you on Wednesday evening. I don't think that will happen anytime soon in St. Lucia. And that is because those politicians, they feel that it's better to their advantage them and cowardly mount a platform and to speak of land propaganda to the St. Lucian public, and hoping that will sway them. They want to challenge it directly in the form of and they to represent the respective political party on a program like Newsmaker Live. By the way, this thing's live, my she's described in certain circles as the Iron Lady, is Minerva. She will be on this evening's Newsmaker Live program, 8:30 in studio. 452-2979 was a message on 6/20/26. We have a call on the landline. Hello and good afternoon to you. Okay, another call. Good afternoon. You on the air. Hello, good afternoon.
Good day.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to you, caller.
Tim, nice to lucky to get your line today. First caller on the block of the block.
Yes, sir.
Tim, I'm want to support Mr. Francis yesterday when he made that call, and Mr. James. And probably it's a new dawn when you can say, I get the experts talking about matters of national security like that. I mean, you can't have two better people talk about national security than Mr. Oman Gil Francis and Sergeant James.
Yeah.
Every 100%, what those gentlemen said were 100% on the target. Is put in the freezer into promotion, commission, or charge, whatever name they want to call it. Stop short a little to say that the main target behind Mr. Shalry's was actually Claudius Francis's brother. All right? That's Claudius was on his program. Mr. Shalry as a police officer. And he was not the only one. Richard Frederick did that to me. He did it to Gustav. 10 years. If I personally had not seen Richard, in that 10 years I had not seen with my naked eyes. So you see when Minister
hold on, Color. How you saying, Mr. Said you?
Mr. You listen to his. I don't listen to. I'm not a listener of his program, but I have called police and tell me, man, you didn't listen to Richard last time, and I asked him, no, what happened? Man, go and listen to it, and I would go back to his show. It was during promotion time of 2016 team.
And you believe that affected you?
Oh, he was trying to affect our promotion. So, Montier commissioner at that time, and Mr. Milton Daisy was deputy commissioner of police, to the CID to make a report against Richard. That's not Tim, I'm telling you there, because he himself said his program. No, the report, Mr. Frederick already knew. Because the man said he has files and so on. I know giving him the files. Those things I have not before, but I can see them now. All right? That's a fact. If you talk to his programs, you can hear exactly what I can give you dates, and you can go back and hear him actually saying what I'm saying there. That wagers on him that he would be arrested for the Ubalus Raymond matter.
Yes.
What they later call the catfish episode. You remember? Now I must tell you, Tim, I must make that disclosure. It's important that I make that disclosure. Ubalus Raymond and myself, we graduated from comprehensive school at the same ceremony, same time. So I know Ubalus Raymond a long time. All right? And I have a lot of the details of that incident in Ubalus Raymond, that incident with Ubalus Raymond. Richard Frederick has been on the police common law reports against. Why do you think the police is not making statements about all the suspension and transfers of the police officers? Why do you think that happening? And the Police Welfare Association is the representative body of the police. Why isn't the Police Welfare Association taking a strong stance against Richard for having 3 members of senior police officers on all kinds
Well, I don't think we have any evidence. The evidence we have is that
I have evidence.
Hold on. Well,
I am talking to you.
No,
I have evidence.
on this deal with evidence about.
I
know, sir. I know.
I am not calling you.
I am not saying you don't have the evidence, but I'm saying I do not have the evidence, sir. I don't have it.
Tim, let me tell you something. So just let you be. Richard Frederick cannot be said and that's diversion. This country is the way it is, Richard Frederick cannot say, and you're putting him to the challenge. Call your station now. Team Richard Frederick to call you and say there is not true. Common law have been taken to the wire by Richard Frederick. Common law have openly. They have accused him of doing runoff, which he never did. I told you who did the runoff. The runoff was done by a police officer for SLP, and he's still a member. So why nobody challenging me on that? Tim, I have facts now. I'm dead. Facts. All right? Richard Frederick cannot never deny what I'm telling you there. Or any police officer now cannot deny what I'm telling you there. Let me just enclose it to you. Let me tell you more. When Mr. Gilfran talk about Ronald Phillip and 3 or 4 promotions, that's true. In 2021, Ronald Phillip was superintendent. He's now acting in charge. Acting officer in charge, which means he's commissioner. Mr. Shalry served under 2 commissioners as deputy commissioner. Why is not acting? Can you explain that to me? Explain it. If you can explain it better than me, explain it.
An anomaly. I agree. It's strange.
It's strange?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. It's not strange. That's Papi show. Tim, let me tell you something. Don't let me get too hot, Tim. I can say a lot of things, That's ridiculous. Not strange. You think Philip Pierre doesn't know that? Philip's the one who went in Parliament saying who's the man power and thing. Say you're the man power, they don't mean you're on paper as the man godfather. The man got 3 promotions in 3 years. To be officer over the commissioner who is 5 years in the rank. And you saying it's strange? Tim, I can have a whole show for 24 hours just on the police force. And don't tell me I have all the evidence I have. I hold on your program. I'm not going to refute that. Nobody in the RSLPF today can refute what I'm saying there. And I challenge Richard Frederick. I give Richard Frederick clock yet, I challenge Richard Frederick to come call you now and challenge me on anything that I think I know or anything I have said this afternoon. And I'm saying more. I'm saying for. I know they are facts. So Tim, let me give him a chance to call. If he calls, I'm calling you back.
Okay. 4297 some calls and messages 71626. We have a call line. Good afternoon, NewsSpin, you're on the air.
Hello, Tim.
Hi, good afternoon to you, sir.
What's up?
I'm okay. How about you?
And your Amanda, right?
Good afternoon, caller.
No, Tim, I'm not the person to call after your last call. It's a different person.
That's obvious, sir. You don't sound like Mr. Frederick.
All right, good, great. Tim, now, as I said, this is not a conspiracy. It just happens that certain things seem to be falling. Let me repeat, it's not a conspiracy. I wanted to call yesterday after Mr. Francis because I wanted to comment on one aspect of his contribution. Yeah?
Yes.
So I will come to that. But Tim, I think in all our crime problems and so, I think we have to paint. I would like to paint a picture, a different picture. Now, crime now is not crime in the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, or even the 80s. Rapidity is greater, sophistication is greater, intensity is greater, it's more gruesome, it's more violent, and we have the gangs integrated, right? The to and fro play between gangs. Now, Tim, what we had a commissioner of police and a minister of national security. Most times, always a politician. So you have one professional and one non-professional insofar as law enforcement. And they could manage, or the aspects of crime, you have 3 murders a year, you have 2 rapes, you have a few little drugs here. And they could easily manage that. But Tim, now, 2025, based just said about the diverse way of crime, almost now this is my opinion. Somebody else might differ, but in my knowledge, experience, and so you cannot manage crime. A commissioner of police and a minister. I'm not about your lower ranks, your deputy commissioner, your assistant commissioner, and your superintendents, and so in whatever you have. I'm looking at the upper echelons. So what I think is that by now should have had a council, because you have to use a range of your resources. Yes.
Yes.
So you have your to go into details because it's a specific and so. But you have your prime heading, your commissioner of police. You have your head because that's an important aspect of law enforcement. You have, because crime security is not only national, to me, a national council which has a wider ambit and under the control of the headed by forces, that they can of benefits to tackle the crime, because I just want to re-emphasize that it is path of commissioner and a minister. I mean, we just not in that at all. In other countries, maybe Trinidad and Jamaica, the head of the defense force or services would be a National Security Council. Last time I suggested that, and if I remember, Mr. Francis he didn't seem too keen from what I grasped he made about that, but that was then. I don't know, he might want to think that. But I firmly told him that we're not going this little 1950, 1960, a commission and a national security minister deciding how we're going to tackle. We're wasting time. We've got to open the field and bring in the resources as necessary, have a security council with the powers to do what is necessary. Now, yesterday, Mr. Francis, which is the aspect I want to look at, he spoke about profiling. And that was the point he made. That's excellent. But my parallel to that would be intelligence. And I want to, if you bear with me, Tim, I want to draw on a little experience I had many years ago. And it's two guys I have had a lot of for is Commissioner 5 and Brian Bernard. And these two guys were ACP Crime and Special Branch. And their option, you would see maybe either of them. O'clock, these guys would set off, just going through certain parts of the country.
5 in the afternoon?
Morning,
okay.
Not afternoon, morning.
5 a.m. Okay.
Early, notice the never the vehicles, they were just going, I think, same kind of winning. And brought a lot of benefits. I remember going to, when they tourist Wiseman in Dennery, in the estate in Dennery. Augustine and Inspector John, other crime scene. We went down there. And I remember going down, and it has stuck with me today. Going down, I was with Mr. Augustine and John, and he said, Murray, I don't need a gun to fight crime. I don't know where to fight crime. Of course, I would assume he had his weapon for his personal protection. But talking about fighting crime, he said, I fight crime through intelligence. That is my weapon. We went to, not to be too long, went to Aaron Estate. We spent about almost 10 hours on the estate combing through looking for evidence. And then we traversed the whole way, the route where we thought the culprits had passed. And we said we would meet at Montparnasse up at the top, which we met about 5. We went, we had 1 or 2 drinks. And the first thing he said, fellas, what you all have, I don't know what you all have, but I know what I have. And we had picked up a number of bits of evidence going through the estate, basically tracking the exit route out of the estate. So we were going back to town. It was Inspector John, Augustine, and myself. And when we got into just about Bexon going into Cul-de-Sac, he told John, he said, John, that's my man. And I'm going to pass him, I'm going to turn around and get ready. So he went past him, he turned around, and he walked down. So apparently the fella stood up by the side of the road. And I remember John telling him, sir, I think he's peeing. Mm-hmm. Augustine said, he's not peeing at all. He's moving our vehicle for the change engine song. That's what. And when we approached the child, he was the main man in his man murder. When we reached him, he just stamped on the John out. He took him, and Tim, he was one of the chief men who was charged in the Wiseman murder. And I'm saying that because all the time we spent going through the estate securing evidence, I remember Augustine saying, I don't know what you all have, but I know what I have. And that means he was making his wrongs in the Dennery area and picking up his information. And going down in the evening, he picked up the first perpetrator. So I can go with Mr. Francis when we talk about profiling. I'm not too sure what the intelligence aspect is like. Hey, I'm not in the police force. I'm not a police officer. But this is one of the ways, and I think Francis alluded to that when he spoke about profiling, when he spoke about when you injure or you kill one member, you have to look out for the other members are going to come back with reprise. This is where your intelligence is so important. And that comes back to what Augustine told me. I don't need weapons to fight crime. Intelligence is my weapon. So that is an aspect. The two things I want to contribute is the National Security Council, and the aspect of our intelligence has to be beefed up, has to be solid. Yeah, Tim?
Yes, sir. Appreciate your contribution, sir.
All right, thank you.
You just heard there from forensic scientist Mr. Louis Murray. This is the most monitored talk show in the world. We continue with your calls and your WhatsApp messages. We also have the NewsSpin question of the day. We have the NewsSpin news of the day. And somebody says the commissioner of police should not be on vacation right now. Stay with the broadcast.
You know that feeling when you have an uncontrollable desire for fried chicken? That's the KFC. A substance that stimulates your senses to identify the aroma of our secret recipe or an extra crispy crunch from any distance. It's invisible to the naked eye, but you can feel it traveling throughout your body, taking control. All so you can enjoy a juicy bite of KFC. Ignite your senses with KFC.
Lazarus's funeral home is here for you. Lazarus's private cemetery offers a peaceful resting place for your loved ones. With tranquil settings, visitation, and reflection, we believe in the compassionate care of all our departed loved ones. Lazarus's private cemetery, let us help you create a final resting place. Make it special. Make it Lazarus's funeral home, your friend in a time of need. Payment plans are available for tombs. Call us in Vidbouté at 452-7491 or in New Dock Road, VA4, 454-6555.
Lucilec averti ou pour point précaution durant saison cyclone sala. Mi an ti commission qui kaywen de ou protéger la vie et propriétaire. Couiller Lucilec avant ou trim et bien couper pied bois qui pouet ligne électrique. Veillez pour ligne courant électrique avant ou monter l'échelle. Faire assurer l'échelle, scaffold et bout d'outils ou ka servi pas venir moins qui 10 pieds hors ligne électrique. Pas jamais servi appliance et ben outils qui ka servi courant électrique. Des wall côté qui mouillé et ben en la pli. Ça c'était en commission hors Lucilec.
Benign, disturb can strike. Are you ready? When the winds rage and the rain pours, will you be prepared? Don't let the next hurricane catch you off guard. At MNC Home Depot and Sunbelt, we understand the importance of preparation. From generators to plywood, we have everything you need to weather the storm. Don't wait until it's too late. Visit MNC Home Depot and Sunbelt today and make sure your family is safe and secure this hurricane season. Play it safe. Get prepared.
Flo's prepaid customers can now unlock big bonus rewards like bonus data, prizes, and more every time you activate a 3-day prepaid plan or larger. Activate a plan, then scratch to reveal your bonus data. Plus, get points for extra prizes. The more you activate, the more bonus data and prizes you can win. Get in on the big bonus rewards when you activate a prepaid plan. Dial *129# or visit topupflow.com to activate a plan today.
Have you had a stroke or symptoms like numbness, headaches, or back pain? When your body sends a warning, don't wait. MRI is the gold standard for seeing what other imaging can miss, like brain damage, spine issues, and early cancer. At La Clinique de Corps, we are the only center in St. Lucia offering the most advanced MRI technology. Fast, radiation-free, expertly interpreted, and insurance accepted. Call 451-6559 or WhatsApp 721-9950. La Clinique de Corps, Center of Excellence, where quality meets expertise.
Essie, don't tell me that tire flat again. I just changed that tire.
Wait, what? You just changed that tire?
Well, I bought a used one because you didn't give me enough money.
Oh, I see. Well, you know what? Shop only carry brand new quality tires at affordable prices with free installation.
Hey, it seems you're working at Shivi's tire shop. How you know all that?
Come on, Brenda. The tire shop down the road from our home in the American Drywall building.
Oh, yes. I forgot. Well, you know what, Patrick? Let's go there right now. Take your wallet. Let's go.
Shivi's Tire Shop, located at the American Drywall building, Vidbouté. Call or WhatsApp 584-5986. Shivi's Tire Shop. Pay less, drive more.
At First National Bank, believe being first means putting you first. Your first home? We've got the mortgage. Starting your first business? Count on our commercial loans. Dreaming of your first car? Drive it home today. Heading to college? Let's fund that first big step with a student loan. No matter the milestone, make First National Bank your first choice for all your loan needs. First in service, first in trust, first for you. Call us at 455-7000 or visit your nearest First National Bank branch today so we can help put you first. First Hair for you.
That's gone for 6. The Republic Bank CPL is here, and the biggest party in sport just got bigger. This August, all roads lead to Darren Sammy Cricket Ground as the St. Lucia Kings light up the island with 5 explosive home games from August 23rd to 31st. Every 6, every wicket, every roar from the crowd is a shot of pure Caribbean adrenaline. So grab your tickets now at cplt20.com or at your local box office. It's time to turn up for the biggest party in sport.
Optimum Events brings the heat with Radiance. Radiance! The all-inclusive breakfast fed at Mon Cubarilla Estate in Soufriere.
Use the cocoa tea, use the sugar, and together we are complete, darling. Heat day up, heat day up.
Radiance! With the Extreme Band, Hollywood HB, A1 Jugglers, Darcy High, Sir Lancelot, and Imran Nerdy.
I want it,
Gourmet breakfast, sunrise sips. This is not your average Sunday. Early bird drops July 12, just $300. Regular $350. Tickets only. Sorry, no door sales. Get yours at the Cell Island Wine, Mambo's Bar in Soufriere, or online at ForceForTheStickers.com. Non-stop vibes from 6 a.m. until 2 p.m. Radiance! August 24th at Mon Cubarilla. Sponsored by Bounty Rum and JP Shanae.
St. Lucia, the countdown is on. Sunday, August 17th, 5 p.m. All roads lead to the William P. Boulevard for a night that will make history. For the first time ever, all 17 UWP candidates will take the stage, shoulder to shoulder, under one banner, to right the wrong, seat by seat, street by street. This is the team to take back our St. Lucia. Come here from our powerful speakers, our new faces, and our trusted visionary leader. Bring your flag, bring your crew, bring your voice. August 17th, 5 p.m., William Peter Boulevard. Come join the United Workers' Party. Together, we will right this wrong.
"23 after 9 p.m. in Abu Dhabi, and somebody is watching the broadcast from that part of the world. The person is Virginia Webster. Hello to you. This is the most monitored talk show in the world. This month, La Clinique du Corps is offering a $50 discount on all doctor consultations. Visit them today and take advantage of this promotion, and don't you miss it. Once again, this month, only this month, at La Clinique du Corps, they are offering a $50 discount on all doctor consultations. 4522979, WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. You are either watching or listening to the broadcast in the UK. Hello, good afternoon to you. In the UK, I guess it's evening. Hello to you.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Freeman. Good afternoon, Amanda.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Mr. Tim. Na ya presse comment patois pour moun. C'est moun qui connaît moi katal moi. Moi di ou ça moi pour dire après-midi.
Ko sorti en cette lycée. Ko sorti en cette lycée.
Ne, just koute ou kaitan comment sorti. Kaitan comment sorti.
OK, ouais, na koute.
Just koute moi le moi parler ba kaitan comment sorti.
OK.
Le Mr. Tim ça na dia. Le adam moun ka di gouvernement ex moun na ka ou le pas de tout là. Mais yo samoli et na en diomolin you ka akli plus mauvais because we journalist ça c'est mon pas di moi yo ki top à la recherche là gouvernement head chef police là yo ka di moi flaboni en bas dimanche ils sont ça tous les 17 candidats là ka dimanche en ville à les boulevard là Exocal dit moi son et d'autres juste tenir ba gwen vie en 2 semaines ba 3 semaines qui passé. Et dimanche donc a vie mettant bagay gwen vie encore. Exocal flambeau nan ba. Janvier fort c'est gwen vie yo ka passer. Jean Valia gwen vie yo ka passer. Jean Denis gwen vie yo ka passer. Tous les gwen vie yo ka passer. Les gens gwen vie qui supporter flambeau, tout le monde qui gwen vie par l'étoile. Là obligé ni gens qui gwen vie qui descend dans la ville. Quand yo ka assemblé par gwen vie, so les so ka fait rien qui on alors qui ça so ka fait. Pas goumé so ka négoce, pas so ka négoce ce monde ça fait pays a. So ka tous les partis en permis pour nous tuer dans bail même temps, so ça flambeau dans bail gwen vie en ville, so ka met l'étoile gwen vie. So l'étoile flambeau ka passer parmi l'étoile gwen vie. Qui ça qui kay là? Est-ce pas division qui kay là? Ni flambeau ni l'étoile, tous les ces monde ça yo, tous les sept monde ça, c'est cette qui nous en politique. So les yo di a kay hen. La kay ni division, la kay ni wash café, la kay ni babier ka babier. Et monsieur sonne de la radio. Qu'est-ce côté il passe flambeau ka parler au ponyo. So les flambeau ka passer gwen vie yo ka été pour les flambeau. Flambeau ka été pour ba yo. Ça cause problème dans pays a. C'est mon temps pour ça qui ça yo pas fait. Yo qui a tout change là, yo ni pour faire. Yo pour acheter manière pour double faire ba ça fait moléculement, yo ka plus. Yo ka bay l'étoile. Permis pour te ba gwen vie. Bon ça n'a dit encore. Yo na ba gwen vie. Léo ka advertise les radio, yo parle maintenant son. Yo ka maintenant Jerry Maya, sak bougon neuf la ka monter vie fort, musa ka monter against booksa, against moun jokal pour tout ça pays en place yo fait. So son ka di ha gwen équipé. Tout ça l'étoile ni ka mene go ko gwen vie pour monter Jean gwen vie l'étoile ni moun ka supporter yo. Manye ka di ha gwen valia. Tout ça qui ni à présent c'est en valia yo ka vinn fait so yo perception non. Yo pas appelle l'autre site mais yo perception non so yo ka mene ko pour Jean valia ouais son ni ko. 10 son ma c'est pour kay goumen 5 minutes l'étoile en valia. C'est ça ni bouffe. Ma c'est pour et kay goumen en valia et brad. Mais pas il prend flambeau l'étoile tout pas pour maintenant valia tout clair. Manyo ka du hagouin, manyo ka di festival ka abatu. En 3 semaines qui passe au dans ba gwen vie. Dimanche soir en the same thing wa vie dans ba gwen vie encore. So ou yon ki candidat. Ou yon kam de l'étoile. Et le fini yo ka du son ka di hagouin qui peut calter. Si pas de pays ba c'est autant ba yon dans l'autant ma bri avali, c'est pays. Di fait qu'on ma c'est pour gagouin.
OK, Kola.
Pas cho ko ven goumé.
All right.
OK, monsieur.
Merci pour couiller. All right. So I'm assuming the caller is from the Valley, from Dennery, but he is in the UK right now. 4522979. WhatsApp calls. The message is 716-2026. A call via the landline. Good afternoon. You are on the air.
Timothy, a pleasant good afternoon to you and your listeners all over the world. PW on the line, Timothy.
Good afternoon to you, caller.
Timothy, I listened to Mr. Francis. I would like to commend him on his contribution yesterday. Today I listened to Mr. Marie. And what they're telling St. Lucians is that the police force doesn't have anything in order. It means that, Timothy, the forensic is not in order. The investigating part of the police force is not in order. The profiling of people is not in order. And then, Timothy, you have when people get arrested or apprehended, our courts are not in order. So it means that everything is in disarray. How can we solve crime in this country? There is no way we can solve crime with all these things, that are not in order. I mean, you look at the situation where somebody get arrested and they are charged $10,000 or suitable surety. Now that is something that amazes me, Timothy, about that suitable surety. I don't know what the Prime Minister or the legislative will have to do about that suitable surety. But I will say to you that the amount of drugs money that's in this country, the amount of guns money that's in this country, Timothy, we have all people around that have been involved in one way or other have seen the drugs and the guns money. Customs have seen the drugs money and the guns money. The members of the police force have seen the money. Ministers have seen the amount of money that comes into this country. And IPW have seen the amount of money that has come into this country already. So when you talk about $10,000, which is $10 for a criminal, that's $10. Why don't we hit the criminals where it hurts? Not 10, but $50,000 to $100,000. No suitable surety. People putting up land or property, you understand, to get bail. You understand? Drastic action we need to take against these criminals. You know, there's a lot of money coming into this country. And when customs officers and police officers are approached by the gang leaders, you understand, to allow certain crimes to happen, Timothy, in this country, which I have seen, you understand, they will go for the money because they have never seen so much money in their lives. You understand? We have to curb on the amount of guns coming in, we have to curb on the amount of money coming to this country. And until we do not have senior and police officers that value their job properly, we will never have people in this country refusing what the criminals have done.
Thank you so much for your very insightful contribution. Happening in the chat room, man? What's happening there?
Just a few comments from earlier. Tim, and NewsSpin says here, you heard PJP when he was in opposition. In office, he wants people to shut up. Do not speak about the killings. A comment: Tim, stop massaging the homicide. And NewsSpin says here, I hope all votes in that number. When's the state? Tim should be a special mention since he broke the news solution. A commentator reads, Tim played the clip again with blasting on criminals during the time he was in opposition. Someone there in the do not have you, but enough said. A commentator reads, happy that you played this clip because all I am hearing is UWP and Mr. Shasney that is politicized. You all heard it from PJP's voice. God is not. NewsSpin says here, we need men like Woman Francis back in charge. Commentator says, Woman Francis, that contribution from yesterday's show shed a lot of light on many issues regarding the high crime rate, government's ineffective handling of it. Commentator reads, St. Lucia is in that mess because there are too many pegs in round holes in all sectors of government, the police force, ministries, etc. A commentator says the welfare in the commentary reads, isn't that one of the recommendations submitted to Philip J. Pierre on crime and he sent it to commentary reads, caller, isn't that similar crime as the opposition? And NewsSpinner says, I agree with you, caller. This Labour government likes too much rural. Why have them meeting on August 7th? This is deliberate. Do not worry, Flobos are peace-loving people. Send zones will right the wrong at the polls. Commentary says in 2025, people are fighting because of politics. This makes absolutely no sense to me. And the commentary says people have to learn to discipline themselves and do not act ignorant. Back to you, Tim.
Thank you so much, Amanda. WhatsApp message, somebody says that St. Lucia seems to have a number of well-trained and professionally retired or professional retired officers. The government needs the necessary to establish a national investigation superseding the state force. Is its own director reporting the Minister of National Security to establish we need to contract a few retired FBI Scotland Yard to structure. The SSU, which acts as a defense, should also have its independent command, allowing all agents independently to the hierarchy. Let's see if we have another WhatsApp message. Tim, they need to bring in Gary Griffiths. That's according to a WhatsApp message. Some more messages. There. Why wasn't the initial report by the vet or the released? If the Prime Minister leaves the police commissioner entirely to his own, how do you know if the commissioner is planning a coup? Prime Minister leaves the police commissioner entirely to his own, not a policeman. How would the Prime Minister know? I think I've read that already. Let's see if we have another message. All right, somebody says there, via WhatsApp, hello and good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin.
Good afternoon to you, Tim.
Good afternoon to you, caller.
Tim, there's a caller there before the previous caller before the last caller you had there. Tim, he make up a point there, Tim, and that point is a valued point, Tim, regarding the Labour Party holding a meeting at the Palm Valley in Denry Valley in Grand Riviere, 17th. And then, the UWP have a big meeting at the Boulevard. Tim, this point is very valid, and I want to tell you that. When it comes to what he says is right. Both Labour and Frabo, they are ignorant people when it comes to campaign and going to a rally. I going back into the 90s, Tim, and know exactly where people was, even like in Mikud, by the Abbey gas station there. At one point, Frabo people were staying on the hill and throwing stones to, you understand? And even Frabo people get hurt. Tim, what he says, I'm not asking for that to happen. I'm wished for that to happen. I had a meeting at Palm Valley over weeks ago. If they're going to endorse Danny Butcher, Lisa Jawai, and whoever else, is it Viewfort not big enough, or Bexon area is big enough to hold a meeting to endorse this in their own? They have been replaced Jawai for Joachim, right? Can they hold a meeting there so the people in Bexon can come out to see who is their new rep for the Labour Party? Tim, this is a politics going on there, because let me tell you something, and the strong message out there. The young man did not say where he came from, but the young man hearing my voice, and you know that I'm an old young man. I live in Mikud for the past 20 years. I'm going to St. Lucia, right? And I will declare myself against Tim. Tim, the reason I'm holding this meeting, because Sean Edward is in deep problem Mabuya Valley to Poleon and Grand Riviere. That's the two places he's looking to win. And he will not win there. He's in problem. Because the last anniversary, when the anniversary there, he was in Oleon, and you see the turnout that he get in Oleon. He had to leave Oleon and go down without even telling his own supporters. So they have to play the tactics well. They know Sean Edward exactly is in deep problem. So to prevent these things happen, they could have held that meeting elsewhere, either hold it in Danny Butcher, because they couldn't do it him. They know people coming from Viewfort North, Mikud South, Denry South, and Denry North. And the Denry North people, they have to assemble at the Larry Shoes. Denry North, they have to assemble in Lakai and by Tida. So all these gonna put a kind of conjunction on the road, traffic on the road. Police supposed to look into this. If the commissioner that give the permit to the Labour Party while in government, they should look into this matter. Because they know the Valley people are hot-headed people, especially coming from Mikud South, Mikud North, and Viewfort South and Viewfort North. Tim, you know St. Lucia, things will happen, but we're not asking for that to happen. But they need to look into this matter, because we don't want whether you are from or live. Nobody. You know, on that little bridge there, just check it by Palm Valley. You know when you're going down that bridge to go going to Richmond, there were some potholes on that road there, okay? And they're hosting there. Palm Valley is not a big place. You know this is going to surrogate all both sides of the road. Higher up, and there was a smaller playing field at the Grand Riviere by the Grand Riviere beach. To look into these things. By 3 o'clock, the Labour Party meeting going to start. People from the flag from 1:40 and 2 o'clock, 2:40, they have to be on that road. Team, look into these things, and this is a serious matter. That is the reason why they say that you need to check on that, because look at social dinings and by stabbing, by everything. Team, there is more that they hide in and they're not putting it out. This thing, they need to stop it, team. And tomorrow on my show, I will be discussing, because you are aware of that, Sean. You know you will. The reason why every time that I talk show, I'm holding my talk show on a Yellow Thursday, I will mention your name, because you more that I have to talk you, Sean Edward, before you'll call the election. It will come to you serious on my talk show on Cool Vibes Radio. There's no threat to that. We're not sending threat to politics, but we have to send a message out there for people to unite wherever you labor or flambo. But the ministers, they are corrupt and they like to tackle. Look at on his show, meet the ministers on he cannot even answer the question that the young man from Ghana in him. And you could hear the talk show host is so biased him. Why St. Lucian can be so biased him when it comes to the Labour Party, man? This guy need to go to the church, you know. They need to go to the church and pray, man. These guys are too biased. You know, like people in the diaspora are listening and hearing these things, man. How about these things? The amount of crime happening in the country. You're not hearing the president to and say what to put them bad boys. But things like that, petty little things you can sort out, you're taking it for mockery. The whole in the government sitting down in the office. And I fed up with this man. It's like Philip J. Pierre, his new name is Coco Flow, because I'm not with a flow head. You know, like when you put a piece of flow on the sea, like you inside fishing, you catch a marlin, a blue marlin. The blue marlin is giving you problem to put on board the boat. You know what you do? Tim, how they call it the flow, the boy. You give it the fun, let it enjoy itself, and give it more line and rope or whatever. When you get tired, then you come close and you just use the whatever they call the aguas. And that's how they have shown in the valley right now. You have a tout flow. Because you have coché la coché à gorge. Mais il va sortir mettre à bon bot là. Il a fait ça. So you buy link and you buy pour your coché pour les last pour le coché mettre à bon pour mener pour acheter pour you vendre by moon. And that's what the Labour Party is. That's how they carrying on. This is too much negative things in the Labour Party. You have Lisa Joaye, Danny Butcher. Do it in the constituency. The constituency is big. And allow the road to be free. Because they are where people will be traveling from. Viewfort, from Denry, from Newcoot South, Denry, Newcoot South, and Newcoot North. This is upsetting. These guys, they're upsetting people, and people listening to them in the upset. Both in the UK, in Canada, and the United States, we're sending a strong message to the party. Do it better so that we can stop the crime. Allow us to come and live freely in our country. So when we come on holiday, we don't have to look back. Who's going to rob us and take our bag and run away? That's what we have to think about. It's all about something for you. You have put too much division, and since 1997, Anthony Timothy, division of politics have been escalated in St. Lucia, have been exploded like a time bomb. You know that? And this is a strong. When they said they were going to tackle the banana industry, in Oleon they have the Tony Torres. They say for them to tackle the government, tackle the banana industry, they tell them the UWP. They think I don't know the history. I know the history. Kenny Anthony aware that in the time of Labour Party back in the late 70s, then Peter Josie and them that tackle his own father, they don't sue here too. You don't have to call them man by their name. He should never been a Labour Party minister, because you know it's them people that stop business from his father. Tim, have a good day. I have too much to say. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, sir. Have a drink of water. You need to cool down. This is the most monitored talk show in the world. More of your calls, your WhatsApp messages, and of course, Amanda will be going through some of your comments in the chat room and providing us with an update. Stay with us.
We're just finished dinner, and before we all head off, let's do something very important. Let's go over our hurricane prep list. We need food, water, medicine, important documents. What else? Right, the generator. This year, not any chances. I'm getting ours from Europa Hardware in Massad Grocery. best prices around. And believe me, I don't want to hear, "Daddy, the Wi-Fi's down," when the power's out. Keep your family comfortable. Get your generator at Europa Hardware. Call us today at 452-0763. Europa Hardware, located in Massad Grocery. We service what we sell.
Prepare for the hurricane season by ensuring trees and other objects on your property won't get tangled in overhead wires. Be careful. Ensure ladders and tools don't come within 10 feet of power lines. If a tree is near electrical lines, don't try to trim it yourself. Contact Lucelec at 452-2165 or 454-6617. Be smart, stay safe.
Tired of sky-high bills and the planet on the brink? It's time to go green without burning your pockets. At First National Bank, we are here to make saving the planet affordable. Whether you're installing solar panels, purchasing a water tank, upgrading to an inverter AC, or buying a hybrid vehicle, we've got the green to help you go green. Fast approval, low interest rates, and Mother Nature approved. Future self will thank you. Visit firstnationalbankonline.com or call 455-7000 for more information to help you turn your green dreams into clean realities. First National Bank, here for you.
It's in the feeling in our weak side. It's in the meaning in our spark. It is the thing that sets us apart. Who we are.
You know that feeling when you have an uncontrollable desire for fried chicken? That's the KFC. A substance that stimulates your senses to identify the aroma of our secret recipe or an extra crispy crunch from any distance. It's invisible to the naked eye, but you can feel it traveling throughout your body, taking control. All so you can enjoy a juicy bite of KFC. Ignite your senses with KFC.
Have you had a stroke or symptoms like numbness, headaches, or back pain? When body warning, wait. MRI is the gold standard for seeing what other imaging can miss, like brain damage, spine issues, and early cancer. At La Clinique de Corps, we are the only center in St. Lucia offering the most advanced MRI technology, fast, ready, expertly interpreted, and insurance accepted. Call 451-6559 or WhatsApp 721-9950. La Clinique de Corps, Center of Excellence, where quality meets expertise.
In the blink of an eye, disaster can... Are you ready? When the winds rage and the rain pours, will you be prepared? Don't let the next hurricane catch you off guard. At MNC Home Depot and Sunbelt, we understand the importance of preparation. From generators to plywood, we have everything you need to weather the storm. Don't wait until it's too late. Visit MNC Home Depot and Sunbelt today and make sure your family is safe and secure this hurricane season. Play it safe. Get prepared.
Yes. That was the Lucia Top 5 for Carnival 2025. Yes. Welcome back to Real Men Take Charge, guys. Real Men Check Up.
To all my listeners out there, a men's health clinic in your area today.
PSA checkups are now free.
It's private, it's quick, it's efficient, and convenient.
Music touches the soul, but health keeps the rhythm going. Fellas, it's time to check your PSA levels. It's free, it's simple, it can save your life.
Brothers, do you not know that your bodies are the temples of the Holy Spirit? Let us be wise of our lives. Prostate test saves lives. Let us not wait until it is too late.
To be a champion, you need to show up for yourself. I'm encouraging every man to take the step. Get checked. Stay strong. Do it for the team. Do it for your family.
My daddy is a hero, and I want him around for a very long time.
Daddy, if you care about me, please take care of your health.
I faced colon and prostate cancer head on, and I'm still standing. Early detection saved my life. If I can do it, and you, don't wait. Get tested. It's free, it's simple, and it will definitely save your life also.
Real men.
Real men.
Real men take charge.
Real men check up.
The Republic Bank CPL is here, and the biggest party in sport just got bigger. This August, all roads lead to Darren Sammy Cricket Ground as the St. Lucia Kings light up the island with 5 explosive home games from August 23rd to 31st. Every six, every wicket, every roar from the crowd is a shot of pure Caribbean adrenaline. So grab your tickets now at cplt20.com or at your local box office. It's time to turn up for the biggest party in sport.
Optimum Events brings the heat with Radiance. Radiance! The all-inclusive breakfast fed at Mon Cubarilla Estate in Soufriere.
The cocoa tea, use the sugar, and to keep that we are complete, darling. Heat day up, heat day up.
Radiance! With the Extreme Band, Hollywood HB, A1 Jugglers, Darcy High, Sir Lancelot, and Imran Nerdy. Gourmet breakfast, sunrise sips. This is not your average Sunday. Early bird drops July 12, just $300. Regular $350. Tickets only. Sorry, no door sales. Get yours at the Cell Island Wide, Mambo's Bar in Soufriere, or online at 4circlestickets.com. Non-stop vibes from 6 a.m. until 2 p.m. Radiance! August 24th at Mon Cubarilla. Sponsored by Bounty Rum and JP Shanae.
Join the Young Labour Stars on National Youth Vibe on Sunday, 17th August at Palm Valley in Grand Riviere, Dennery. Pull up for music, energy, and real talk. Bringing the vibes. Honorable Jeremiah Norbert.
CLN, CJN.
Honorable Kenson Casimir. And our Prime Minister and political leader, Honorable Philip J. Pierre. Blazing the Labour Party stage for the first time. Our endorsed candidates, Senator Lisa Jawahir
for more progress
and Dr. Shanda Araksing. You definitely don't want to miss our brand feature speaker, Newport South endorsed candidate, Mr. Danny Butcher. Vibes, and more vibe from DJ Pro Styles, General Biggs, Subbats, and our 2025 Groovy Monarch, Imran Nerdy.
Yeah, I go in everywhere.
It's a whole youth vibe with Labour. Palm Valley, Dennery, August 17th at 3:30 p.m. Be there.
Chucky was with everybody. We have activities, Chucky would transport us. Chucky would cook food, share. Chucky was a loving brethren. Chucky was once the assistant treasurer. He was once the vice chairman of the trustees board of ICA. Chucky was a member of ICA. Chucky, I don't know what to say about Chucky. Chucky just was one in a million. Chucky was unique. All Chucky had to give was love and smiles and good advice. That's all Chucky was about. Chucky, fly away to Zion. We will miss you, Chucky. We will miss you, Chucky.
Paying tribute to the late Chucky, just there from Pinky, former official of the Anola Council for the Advancement of Rastafari. We have a call. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air. Good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon, team, and good afternoon, Amanda.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to you, caller.
And good afternoon to the listeners and viewers all around the world. Yesterday, you suggested that the Prime Minister should address the nation specifically on the crime situation that we are facing right now. I agree that that would help, but I think that we need something more drastic. The government needs to take an action that will focus the minds of the entire nation team and take us out of our comfort zones. Now, last year, I made a suggestion, and I'm going to make it again. The government needs to call off one of the big celebrations in this country, such as jazz, carnival, Journée Creole. If the government is really serious, they need to call off one of those big celebrations. Now, this year, the next big one we have left is Journée Creole. Just imagine the impact that would have on the psyche of the country, Tim. When people come to the realization that there is no jazz, no carnival, or no Journée Creole because of the crime situation, that would certainly focus the minds. People will be talking about it. Oh, Lanisa Pani Jazz or Pani Carnival, La Pani Journée Creole, Top Kuima Peia. So our minds will be focused on there. And the day that speech should not just be called off for the sake of calling it off, but he could fill the space with symposiums and all the crime-fighting initiatives. But to address to the nation, in my estimation, we have gone past the stage where that is going to do anything. We have got to the stage now where the whole nation needs to recalibrate. And I think calling off one of those big celebrations would refocus the minds of the people to show how severe the crime situation is and the government is serious. That is my contribution.
Thank you so much for sharing it with us, sir. 452-2979, WhatsApp calls and messages, 716-2026. We have them on the call. Good afternoon. You're on the air. Hello.
Good afternoon.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon
yes,
to you.
Tim. I heard an ad a while ago, Tim, what they're saying. Check the PSA.
Yes, sir.
You just play an ad a while ago, yes. I hope people check their PSAs. When the people go and check their PSA, they tell the people the right thing, the doctors. Because what I realized that happening with that prostate thing, Tim, it's a money-making thing that's there. Because the reason why I'm saying that, when you're checking your PSA, I will not say all the doctors, I will not say all of them, some of them, you go, you check your PSA, they realize the PSA is going up, and they are not giving you no advice. Okay? They are not giving you no advice. And what I experienced and what I realize, they are letting the prostate reach cancerous for them to make their money. Because that's the way they can make the money. When you do surgery, one surgery is $25,000. $25,000 for a surgery. So they're letting it reach. Because the reason why I'm saying, if your prostate getting enlarged, before it reaches cancerous, in St. Lucia, they cannot do it, but they will not advise you. They can shave it down. Before it reaches cancer, they can shave it down and bring it back the normal size. But they will not advise you. They will never mention that to you. Because if they mention that to you, then you can afford, you'll go overseas and get it done. You understand? So you will stay there with them and let it go up, and it's going up all the time. It's going up and up and up until it reaches cancer. And when it reaches cancer now, you have only one choice or two choices. Either you die or they remove it. Okay? So I'm happy telling people go and check their PSA, but I hope they are telling people the right thing to advise people the right way, because I go through that. So that's why I can speak about it.
Okay,
I have the same experience. Yes, Tim.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your contribution, sir. 452-2979, WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Another call via WhatsApp. Good afternoon to you. You are on the air.
Hi, Tim. Good afternoon, Amanda. Good afternoon, NewsSpinners. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, ma'am.
Tim, I'm calling from the diaspora, and I want to piggyback off one of your previous caller. I think he's based in the UK, and I also want to follow up on the last caller. Tim, I'm from Denver North, and I'm telling you, what these two callers are saying is so serious. In 2016, when we had the election, UWP had a motorcade that went for Grand Ravine, and I personally witnessed people who had cases of eggs, stones, they pelted at the motorcade. We in Denrinoff, I don't know for the rest of the electorate, but we in Denrinoff, we don't have any kind of tolerance level for BS. I will not say the word. Sean is an instigator, and he should know my voice. He is an instigator.
Now, call Sean. Mr. Edward is not on the broadcast to defend himself, so don't accuse him of being an instigator.
Okay,
man.
Point taken.
Yeah.
Point taken. But Tim, I live a stone throw from that bridge next to Palm Valley. And Tim, when everybody from the south part of the island, Denry coming in, we have to slow down to go over that bridge. And there is not a place that they can park or stay away from that motorcade coming in, right? Now, we're talking about Danny Butcher and Lisa. You telling me they have to choose Palm Valley to create such chaotic scene on that bridge there? I don't know for the rest of the electorate, but Denry North, both UWP and SLP, we have a zero tolerance level for BS. I don't think it is right. I don't think it is fair. And I think they should find, I know it's not going to happen. I mean, I'm just saying that, but I think they should find somewhere else. I'm not saying that they shouldn't have their activity, but not Palm Valley. That's too close for comfort, too close. Create problems, and trust me, team, I tell you that it's gonna create problems.
Well, caller, I hope it does not come to that. But I don't know what the police would have taken into consideration in deciding to allow those activities to happen or to occur on the same day. But what I envisage is that clearly it will affect the resources of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force in terms of the allocation of manpower. So you need police officers to be at that event there in Dennery. You need police officers to be in the boulevard on that same Sunday. And you need police officers to be in various pockets of the St. Lucian community as we are continuing to experience an increase in criminal activity in our country. So the resources of the police will be stretched thin on Sunday. And I don't know whether the hierarchy of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force, considering the environment that we're in right now, took those situations or conditions under consideration.
But Tim, I'll tell you something. In Denry North, I have witnessed personally where there are individuals. You cannot speak in Denry North. They would be under the bus stop. They would be elsewhere. They have their video on their phones. They video your conversation and they take it to Sean. That I know because I have family members and friends that's in Sean Edwards' camp. And another thing, for 2021, when we had election, I was on Team Farah. And if we had planned an event or a whistle stop for that campaign and we find out that Sean was having something, we would cancel. But they would never cancel. We would run into each other at Lime. We would run into each other in the Larry Shoe stretch. We would run into each other at the Larry Shoe's gap. It was always a problem. I personally know of an individual who buy 2 cases of eggs and allowed these eggs to sit there for weeks and wait for that motorcade and pelt these eggs and stones at the motorcade. So they have instigated problems. I've seen Sean myself at an event and Sean was right there. Sean again. I mean, I'm not saying he can't do that, but please try and diffuse the situation. That's all I'm saying. Because we have a zero tolerance level for BS in Denry North. We are serious about our business. I heard Sean said that when you hear anybody talking about the Labour Party, it could be in church, it could be in the cemetery, and so what is that? What does that tell you? If you as will tell your supporters that he is claiming that he was in a mud bin in the 10 years under 10 consecutive years, almost 10 years under the current legacy. He was sent in there for a while. Did he put a balcony or a patio or whatever he wanted? These older people had to, they had to reach for. And he waited until the week, maybe a year less, and he's going to talk about Sean again. Come on, give me a break. Anyway, Tim, thanks.
Thank you so much. I hope that nothing will be under control and things will not get out of hand. But if it does, and considering what some of our callers are saying, visit could happen, the person will have to bear responsibility for this. Because already the atmosphere heavily charged, the police, they're under tremendous pressure in terms of their manpower. I hope that they have everything under control. The policing the event at Palm Valley, the Boulevard, and other sections of the country. So the commissioner is currently on vacation. Somebody has taken up this thing at a particular junction. Considering the level of criminal activity we are experiencing, the police commissioner have said not to go on vacation. That is started on the day of this week. Most people, the Prime Minister of would have said to Mr. Fernicard,
hell no, you're not going on vacation.
Yeah, you ought to go, not at this time. Allow it a few weeks. I know you're vacationing. I cannot allow you to go on vacation. I think Mia Motley would have said that to Mr. Fernicard.
I mean, Tim, it's just like it's chaotic, like I said. You know, the president, you are the minister responsible for national security. You can't telling them in that low tone. You're telling them, hell no. Hell no.
From a NewsSpin caller. Amanda, what's happening in the chat room? Your final update.
Tim, a few comments from earlier. NewsSpin says there are not only leaders, it's politicians, police officers, and business owners. A commentary reads, as it stands right now, are you guys on bail for gun-related charges even go to the police station to sign the book as part of their bail conditions? There will be an aid with ex-officers to help with the checks and balances. Another comment here, but isn't that something the deputy commissioner, in the absence of the commissioner, is supposed to control? Example, not give approval for the two events on the same day.
Let me just interrupt you just a bit. What's Dennery is part of the Northern Division, which encompasses 5 stations, and Castries is in the Central Division. They should be able to man the 2 events adequately. My 2 cents, coming from a police officer. Go ahead.
Tim, someone says here, imagine the police crowd events on the same day with opposing groups. The UWP was sent in first. Still, the police, in the interest of peace and control, could have denied once they in the past. I am suspicious of the intent. They reads, how can they refuse with the government on their necks? Go figure, shake my head. A NewsSpinner says there are Minister of Education who has to set good examples for thousands of students. Once like that, how does he expect students to behave? Another comment, thank you, I totally agree with that suggestion. Commentary reads, caller, you lost me here, and respectfully, sir, calling off an event like jazz and Creole won't happen and should not happen. There are other ways to combat crime. Someone says their caller, the Prime Minister cannot see that crime is serious and drastic measures has to be taken. Politicized, so he will never take it carefully.
We have a call. I'll get back to you in just a moment. Good afternoon. Spin you on the air. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Tim.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to you,
good afternoon, Tim.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Tim, I'm just concerned about the caller that they call about the events. It's not about the 2 events held on manpower. They say quite clear that if they were passing different areas, but the people have to assemble in these areas before they can move on. They have to pass through opposition areas, and you know how people behave in already. I, as an ex-police officer, just retired, I got a lot of. That's one time I don't like to work is election time. For the first time in my years working the police force, I work at political parties straight in the force. I never, God help me, I never worked by any of those campaigns throughout my tenure in the force. That was my last. You know, it is as humble as I am. I gave person extra time based on we say, okay, let's give him some. Just trying to finish up. You know, we give him the time, and don't forget your patient just now. He already gone 20 past the time. I'm gonna watch me come here, Bula.
A politician?
And my full police uniform.
Not
a politician. One of the supporters.
Okay.
I must say the candidate was there. He apologized to me. Mr. Healy was there. Mr. Healy was upset that I was called that. He said, "Why are you doing that? Why don't call them?" He was upset. We worked with them. I'm and the man what was the man that called me that he looks gay. That troubles me. So that means he knows bullers. And that I felt like I could have lost. I felt like that night I could have lost it. Up now I can never forget that man's face. And I'm saying I know those people that be politically charged. We have to be careful. Saying that local knowledge is giving us information that this is the figure that is going to come out with. Let us err on the side of caution and do what's supposed to be done. In these times, I'm telling you, Timothy, someone straight up tell you, say, even if you're in the area, I know who to go to get my time or to get my thing happening there. And they try to hold the events at the same place or close to each other or the same time. That is a nightmare for police. When those parties are passing each other when they're campaigning, it's a nightmare for police. People don't even take on the police. It's like whatever the politicians say we're doing, whatever who's on the road in charge on the mic say we're doing. You know, you have to be a good police officer to really calm the crowd down. And when they pass, you get more Tikwasi police, Tikwasa police, Tutubushe police, pass, as if the police force is a party by itself. People at that time don't hear. So if local knowledge is saying that the level of ignorance or behavior, there's potential for aggressive behavior on that day. Let us take heed that we do not have a situation happening that we say the people say I want that. How many people call about it? I'm not saying, but look at how you're doing it. Look at to reroute, do something. Whoever responsible, look into it. Because I sense if somebody give you local knowledge already giving you the information, I think we should take that. Unless our people behave, there's some people who will be yellow, some people will be red, some people will be neutral. Respect people's opinions. Even training, I go into some training. When I have a particular color clothing, guys applaud me. When I have a different color, call me all kind of names. They call me all kind of names because I have to. A gentleman I respect so. I had to tell him something. I don't think he'll speak to me again. I spoke to him in a nice way, but in a way he never expected me to speak to him. I don't think he'll speak to me again. I wear my, and I respect both parties, both. All of us respect each other. We are one generation, one people. People have. But if we get that information, let us still be careful that it doesn't. Let's err on the side of caution. That's all I'm saying.
All right, sir. Thank you so much. Somebody is there. I just passed Pave and noticed that the Great Wall is being demolished. And look at what chat room, Amanda.
Tim code is cancelled the revenue deals with culture. Commentator says there is the most divided constituency. I don't know if it's partial, but the policy is using it to their advantage. Someone says there which party supporters from the beginning time resort to violence. We need to say the quiet part out loud. The party is known for bullying and violence. Someone says here, what concerns me about the event being held at Palm Valley is not the location, but the capacity of the venue to host an event of the magnitude that is expected. Someone says there, let's hope it doesn't. You all should be appealing to the supporters on both sides to keep the peace. Stop and offer a handshake, have a drink, and take a wine and carry on your merry way. What's so difficult about that? A NewsSpin had the same problem in Salty Bus during the 2021 election. WP had a meeting at Upper Salty Bus and the Labour had a motorcade. This coming up Salty Bus and stopped a few yards lower down the meeting and blocked the UWP from going up to their meeting. Then should be on bridge, make sure that there is no disruption in the flow of traffic. A commentator says, Team Labour and Flow owned their first place. Community Carnival was still taking place, and out of respect for sources, both parties ruled for the very police to nomination for the two major political parties to on the same day. Same time is not of ludicrous.
Thank you so much, Amanda, for that update. We have our final call. Good afternoon, NewsSpin here. Hello. Okay, we lost that call. Let me go through NewsSpin question of the day. The NewsSpin question of the day reads, what's wrong with the leadership of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force? What is wrong with the leadership of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force? And we have our NewsSpin news of the day. The NewsSpin news of the day, Canada's cannabis industry contributes more than $76 billion to Canada's GDP, generating 100,000 annually. And we have our final caller of the day. Good afternoon. You are on the air.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, caller.
Amanda, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, caller.
Sorry to be late. I hail from the Mabuya Valley. When I left there was no dam enough. It was plain Mabuya Valley. And that's an area where I ran, where I played, where I fish in the rivers and everything. That junction, Palm Valley, is the same area in 1993, the 23rd of October 1993, where rioting caused of Randy and Julius Joseph. You remember that?
Yes, sir.
That's a very polarized area. In the Mabuya Valley I'm from is very, very polarized. Sean Edward know me personally. And I'm appealing to the commissioner. I cannot direct you as to what to do or how to perform your duty. But all I'm asking is if you can adjust the time. The Labour Party meeting is due to commence at 3:30 p.m. If they can make 7 p.m., that will pose no problem. The UWP delegation will pass through unhindered, and you can start your program from 7 p.m. On returning to the constituencies, Lord knows I don't know what can happen. But please, Mr. Commissioner, and the executive of the Royal St. Lucia Police, please, what is happening here right now is a recipe for disaster. You know my people. I grew up there. I know them. Sir, that is bad news. Bad news. You have 4 days in which to remedy the situation. Please, sir. Please. Accept this advice. Thank you.
Thank you so much for calling. At note, we have to thank you so much for listening to the broadcast and contributing via your calls and your WhatsApp messages, and of course the discussions in the chat room. My name is Timothy Poleon. Join me this evening, 7 o'clock on DBS Television, the DBS News World, and at Make Alive, my guest, Minerva Ward. Goodbye.